Hello and welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. I have two 40% alcohol Irish blended whiskeys. I have the shades closed because it's very hot. You can see how bright it is out there. You look out, you see in that window over there, that light shining through. So another warm summer day. And I have Tullamore D.E.W. People call it Tullamore D.E.W. Tullamore Daniel E. Williams. This is an older bottle. They updated their label right after I bought it. Now, Walmart had this on sale for whatever reason for $13, so I bought it. And I thought I got a great deal. And then about a month ago, Mathern's had it for $9.99, which lasted probably about 3 hours before all the bottles were gone. But I didn't buy any more. I mean, I'm experiencing it, you know, I know what it's like and I enjoy it. And then when it's gone, I'll go on, move on to something else. I got to learn how to move on with these things. Herbie says, O'Neill's lost with Jameson already. Yes. Shane Fudge says, howdy, Jay. Howdy to you, Shane. This sounds like a good matchup. Yes, I think it is. Now, here's O'Neill's. Don't know when it was introduced. In fact, it doesn't even indicate on the bottle that it's trademarked. There's no indication anywhere saying registered trademark U.S. Patent Office. So that's bizarre. Well, I do know it's aged 5 years in first fill bourbon barrels, which means the first time they use these bourbon barrels to do something else with it, they age this in it. So you take bourbon barrels and they fill them, really refill them the first time with this product. And then it's finished in double charred oak. It says that at the bottom where my finger is, double charred oak. If I can get this thing to focus. It's from West Cork Distillers. Not an alias name. They have a real website, real distillery. They have a lot of good products on there, it looks like, but they don't list this. And I think there's more than one O'Neill's. This is the O'Neill's 5 year. There's an O'Neill's something else. But I get the impression that it's probably made especially for Total Wine and More stores. So that's why they don't list it on their website. Tullamore is a distillery, Tullamore Distillery. It's old. It's from what, 1826, I think they say on the bottle. They use 3 types of whiskey: grain whiskey, copper pot still whiskey, and single malt whiskey. They age it 3 different ways. I'll show you that on the website. It's triple distilled, and then they age it 3 different ways. And Daniel E. Williams is the guy who really popularized the company's whiskey, so they named the whiskey in honor of him, Daniel E. Williams, D.E.W. Hello, Clancy Woodard. All right, so I'll show you the website. Herbie says, sir, you are comparing fish with sharks. I believe a shark is a fish, right? Okay, here's the newer label, you know, with the cat. Tullamore D.E.W. Original Irish Whiskey. Original triple blend Irish whiskey known the world over. Now, it was introduced in 1902 because that's trademark first used 1902. They don't give a specific age statement. Traditional refill barrels, X barrels, and X sherry butts. Oloroso sherry, sherry, X bourbon, and some other refill. And it wins a lot of awards, but not in the last 4 years that they're showing. And you see this one around here. There's a honey, which I've heard about. There's a 12-year-old, a rum cask, a single malt 14-year-old and an 18-year-old single malt. I have this around, but I haven't been actively looking for it either. I mean, I might go to a specialty shop and find those. Jason Wickham says, Happy Wednesday, Jay and everyone. Okay, these are both amber in appearance. The appearance isn't going to matter. They look almost the same. Assuming they'll focus. And it doesn't look like they're going to. Oh, there they go. Oh, you shocked me. Happy Wednesday, Jay and everyone. OJ, I found the Anheuser-Busch Schlitz, and it's very good. It's 4.6% now. It doesn't taste anything like the Gusto that was out a few years ago. Oh, okay. I'm still waiting for it. I can't find it. It disappeared. It's more of a Miller type adjunct lager. Oh, looking forward to your review of it when you find it. Well, if I find it, let's say. We used to get Schlitz regularly here, 12 packs. And I asked the store manager, I said, why you don't have Schlitz? I said, what happened to Schlitz? We have it on the shelf. I said, no, you don't. We don't? I said, no. Last I heard about it, that's all I heard. We don't. Now, whether they follow up and bring it back, we'll see. Because it used to be a regular thing. Sometimes it would disappear, but then it would come back after a few months or even really just a few weeks. All right. But there's only one store in this town that ever sold it regularly in the last 25 years. Yeah, Old Milwaukee. I can find that in Kenner, Louisiana, but the last time I found it, the cans were from last year. And I was like, nah, I don't think so. I don't believe. We haven't gotten an Old Milwaukee in my town in 20 years, maybe longer. We used to get it in quart bottles, suitcases, 6-pack pint cans, all kind of stuff. But Brother Man says, just stumbled upon your channel. Howdy. Hello to you. All right. This smells pretty strong. Like I'm getting a lot of strong dark bread. Not really dark bread crust. I'm getting a lot of bread crust, white bread crust. Yep, quart bottles. I could buy it at Walmart in 12 packs. So that's making me think it's the O'Neill's, which has that strong, because it's that double charred oak barrel finish. This smells much lighter, but you still get that brown. You get brown. You still get the bread crust. Well, bread crust is brown or tan at least. Okay, taste. So I'm not really sure at this point. Price point, O'Neill's, Total Wine, and more has it for $14.99 right now. $14.99? True story. I think I paid more, but they dropped the price after I bought mine. I think, well, I might have only paid $15.99, but $14.99. Run out and buy it now. I'm telling you, buy it. Tullamore D.E.W. It runs about $26, but I paid $13. Half price at Walmart. Don't know why. When they do those sales, I don't ask questions. I just buy. And then Mathern's, like I said, about a month ago, had it for $9.99, about 4 or 5 bottles. You know, can't buy everything. They got some tequila right now for about $10 off. A silver and a gold, 100% agave. But I got so much tequila right now that I've never even opened, so there's no point to buying anymore. It would be madness. Is AB creating new offerings by purchasing brands like Pabst and Schlitz to increase their market share? Those are brands we've heard of and have a name recognition. They didn't purchase it. They don't own the brands. They just agreed to produce them under contract. Like I bought some Yingling yesterday. Interesting story. I bought Yingling Oktoberfest Marzen yesterday. But it's contract brewed at the Miller Brewery in Fort Worth, Texas, under supervision of Yingling, which probably means they told him, do it this way and make it come out right. And Miller said, gotcha. And that's probably the supervision. And they might bring somebody in once a month, just kind of look around and say, yeah, it looks like, let me taste some. Yeah, look, it tastes right. So Yingling, but not from Yingling Brewery. They did that because they didn't have enough capacity to make Yingling to sell in the Western states. So they contracted with Miller so that they could do it. And then you start seeing it maybe in Oklahoma, New Mexico, Colorado area. This is an interesting flavor. This product here is very bread. Bread, 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 bread. Good bread, too. I've been eating good bread that I bought. Is called baguette. And I warmed it up yesterday and put some of that sandwich spread on it. Brookshire sandwich spread. Oh, yeah, man. Thing was rolling. With Schlitz, I think AB made up their own recipe since, as you said, the original recipe is lost. Yeah, can you believe that? Tom says, thumbs up. Thank you, Tom. They probably made up a recipe and let Pabst try it, and the Pabst people said, "Oh yeah, it tastes great. Let's roll with that." You know what I mean? Something like that. Or Pabst might have developed it and just handed it to them and said, "Make this." And I mean, Anheuser-Busch InBev can make anything. If you give them the recipe, they're going to make it. They've been making beer since 1850 something. I mean, they're not amateurs. They used to make a great stout, bare knuckle stout. I loved it, but couldn't really find it. And the craft beer people wouldn't drink it because it's made by Anheuser-Busch, so they wouldn't drink it. And then the Budweiser people wouldn't drink it because, but you know what they're going to say? It's going to be strong. It's going to be harsh. I'm going to hate it. It's not strong. It's not harsh. You never even tried it. Quality control from Anheuser-Busch is top notch, says Jason. You got that right. All right. These are similar. Medium body, dry finish, typical whiskey. Which means automatically, without any further discussion, O'Neill's wins because it's $10 cheaper or more, $10 to $12 cheaper. So you can save $10 to $12 per bottle, and you're not losing anything. It's not better, but it's definitely not worse. So can you find inexpensive Irish whiskeys that taste really, really good? Yeah, you can, and I've got some. In fact, I got 2 gingers coming up. Really good product, man. No joke. And I can still find it for like $15.50. AB reminds me of Gallo, as Gallo partners with other wineries with a COP, promote, or joint venture to increase sales and market share. I don't know what that means, a COP. You mean a co-op? I'm not sure. But yeah, they do. Gallo makes really good wine. And I mean, they do the whole thing. They do the low end, the mid range, the top notch stuff. So you could buy a wine from Gallo that's $8, or you could buy a wine from Gallo that's $280. They got that Gallo Reserve over there at that store, local store here. It's like $50 a bottle. I never tried it. I can get E&J Gallo, Gallo family, which to me, Gallo family is good. I need to review some more, honestly. But would I like to try the $50 bottle? I mean, I would, but I have never done it. Tullamore, that's a winner. This is a winner. This whiskey is a clear-cut winner. I think Tullamore D.E.W can compete with Jameson, Patty's, Bushmills. Well, actually, it does compete with those because those are like the top four products. So what am I talking about? They do compete. It does compete. Clancy said you saw a Bush can with a cold indicator on it. I saw that years ago. They used to have that years ago. It was like a microphone. Like a microphone, and when it turned blue, it was cold. But that was like 2014. But I found old cans around here for years. I found an old Meisterbrow can by the railroad track on the railroad. I said, Meisterbrow. I said, this can's been sitting here this long. There it was. Good afternoon, Kyle. Good afternoon to all the viewers. Well, let me get on out of here because I got to fold some laundry. Should be dry by just about now. And at the top of the hour, 7 o'clock Eastern time, 4 o'clock Pacific, we're doing Joker's Wild Wednesday. Joker's Wild Wednesday, first Wednesday of the month. You can bring anything you want. I'm going to bring an Imperial Stout. Well, a double stout, hazy. Yeah, it's pretty good. I wouldn't buy it again, though, because I would rather buy the regular version of it, which I can't hardly find. But it's a winner, if you like those hazies. Not my thing, but if that's for you, if that's what you want in your life, go for it. Good afternoon. Never heard of O'Neill's. I never heard of it either until I just happened to be in Total Wine and they had it. I was there looking for other stuff and I was like, oh yeah, I'm buying that. That price, I'm on it. John Mallory says thumbs up. Now we'll give Total Wine and more credit. They bring in some oddball stuff, man. Really oddball stuff. And I bought it. And then I saw it at Mathern's. They have it on discount. Some really strange rum from Mexico. Silver and a gold. I think Mathern's only has the silver, but I bought the silver and the gold from Total Wine. If I told you what I paid, you'd think I was lying, But is it any good? I don't know if it's any good. I never tried it. I couldn't even find a website for it. But hey, try it, buy it. I like finding these oddball things. Are some of them private label? I think some of them are private label for just Total Wine and More. But obviously the rum wasn't because I saw it here at this local store, which is definitely not affiliated with Total Wine. I don't know if I'm going to get this right, y'all. These are very similar. They both use like complex aging techniques, like different barrels, and they use different type of whiskeys and all of that. So they kind of comparable on complexity. I think this is the Tullamore D.E.W because it's a little smoother, but I'm not saying better. It just doesn't have any little bite. It doesn't have any little choppy bite back. It is. I got it. Maybe they didn't go up there and tell you, but I got it. So that puts me at 3 wins, 1 loss. Well, I sure hate that loss, but I got confused on the patties. But and the patties is the one I thought I would not get confused on. So what's coming up? I'm trying to go in chronological order, honestly, like the year they were introduced. I think the next one in line is Bushmills Black Bush. That's a real popular one, sort of like their version of Johnny Walker Black Label type of thing. Bushmills Black Bush, introduced in 1980, and it's aged 8 years. 8 years, so extra age. Although Johnny Walker Black Label is age 12, and it's aged 8 years in ex Oloroso sherry cask, which makes a very big impact on it. Those aged in sherry casks, which is a type of wine. You say, why would they want to age a whiskey in a wine barrel? Well, I guess they wanted to have a unique flavor. John Mallory says, I wonder if God made beers mostly gold color because he knew it was gold. All right. Love everything Bushmills. I am like you, Kyle. I love everything Bushmills. If it says Bushmills, I'm gonna love it. And it's not because my family was Scotch Irish. Part of my family. Anyway, I told somebody at work, I said, the reason you like putting out the Canadian, clearly Canadian, is because your sister lives in Canada. Do you prefer Bushmills over Redbreast? Well, I never had Redbreast, so I can't complain. I can't complain. I can't compare it. I can't comment on it. I never had Redbreast, but I want to try Redbreast, and I know where to find it. All right, well, let me get out because I got to come back soon with the Joker's Wild Wednesday day.